Right. So, welcome
Hi.
to the Lattes and More podcast.
Which we figured out is actually our name.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Erica.
So, we're going to dive in. You want to get started with what got
Sure.
you into reading?
Sure. So I'm Erica. My husband's name is Austin. I have been reading forever, as long as I can remember. Like when I was a kid, I had a bookshelf, and I would sit in front of the bookshelf and take all the books down and put a bucket on my head and look at all the books and pretend to read them. And then I put them back. So as long as I can remember, I've really read all the books that I can. But when I was learning how to read, like actually learning how to read, I had a hard time, like initially, because when you're in first grade, they give you the little book, but they read you the little book in class.
You just like memorize the words.
I memorized the book.
Yeah.
So I would go home and read my book, and everybody would be like, "Wow, look, she's an amazing reader." No, I wasn't. I memorized the words. So my first grade teacher made me read my books backwards, which sucked. I mean, I was like, boo-hoo, crocodile tears. Mom,
That's genius, though.
But now I can read super fast. So, which not as fast as other people. But I do read. I can get through some books. And then when we really get into it, I read like all kinds of like standalone books in elementary school because there really wasn't a series.
I ate up the Nancy Drew series for AR points.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But that really there wasn't like the main series until Harry Potter. And I mean, isn't Harry Potter like all of our first series? Like we all love Harry Potter. Like we would binge it.
I was in 6th grade when it started coming out. And I started reading it. Right. Read.
I got my little book. Mom bought me the paperback book when we moved back in, and she was like, "Look, Erica, this is the main book that everyone's talking about, and it's all the kids are reading it, and it's on the New York Times Top 100. It's a great book." And that started everything. So then read all the Harry Potters, of course. Didn't go to the midnight to get books because we were children. I couldn't be up. I had to go to school. Couldn't go to that. Went to all the midnight movies though. That was the best.
Yes.
And then like in middle school, I read the series of unfortunate events like Screw You, Count Olaf. Like
I forgot about that one.
Yes, and the Baudelaires. Amazing books. I read the Spiderwick Chronicles, which they were like these little bitty books. They were probably this big. They were tiny little books, but really word dense. And if you ask me what they were about right now, I don't know. I can't remember.
I struggle with that now. Don't ask me on some books. No, like, I don't know. I read it.
No, I don't know. I don't know who the main characters are. I don't know who anybody in the book is. But I read those, and then when I got older, of course, let's see. When I got older, I did the Spiderwick. I did all of the Gossip Girl books, and I'm hashtag Team Blair forever. Like Serena was always the cool girl, but Blair got stuff done. She was the one who was getting all the stuff done. Then I got more back into the fantasy series. I read the Uglies. Do you remember the Uglies and the Pretties?
But I do remember it.
Oh, they were so good. Tally Youngblood. Hello. Like there were the Uglies, the Pretties, and the Specials. And then there was a fourth book called the Extras. And you know how most book series are always a book or two longer than they should be.
Yes.
This one was about characters that weren't even there. And then there was not a fifth one. So the Uglies, Pretties, and Specials, we're all Tally stories.
Was it super popular? Because if it was, I wouldn't have read it.
I don't really know.
Because that's why I've never read Twilight.
Oh, Twilight! I love Twilight.
Had I been older when Harry Potter came out, like if had I not been growing up in Harry Potter, I wouldn't have read it because it was too popular.
Oh, it was so good. I get it
up because it was so hyped. I'm like, it can't be that good.
Oh, it was that good. It was I don't know if the Uglies was like it didn't get a lot of fandom, I don't think, but they were great books, and they were kind of like sci-fi fantasy, like in the future, and they made movies, and I tried to watch the movie on Netflix. It was
especially back in the day.
Well, no, they just redid it. They just redid it, and I tried to watch it when we went on our honeymoon, and I was like,
not that great.
This is not the vibe, guys. Tally would not approve. So then after Twilight was kind of at the end of high school for me. And then when I went to college, that's when 50 Shades came out. I read all of 50 Shades, not knowing what a smut book was. I just was like, bam, straight into BDSM. I didn't get any soft romance. Like I read the Princess Diaries books in high school and in junior high, and those were kind of like little love stories. Like it's like your best friend and your boyfriend in high school, but there's no smut. There's no smut. When you go from no smut to BDSM, you're just like, I'm flushed.
That's what you picked up.
That is because I had no idea what.
Oh, I swear though, the books that used to be at the grocery store that your grandma read
Yes.
were smut books.
They were. Granny
With,
knew
like,
what was
Fabio on
going
the
on.
front, like,
Yes, the
those are
long
smut.
hair and the horse. They knew what was
And
happening.
they had the worst sultry titles in the world.
Yes. Like I don't know, the Viscount who lost his leg or
Yeah.
something. It's like not even anything good. So I don't know. So
Right.
then yeah. So I got the shocker of 50 Shades and Christian
Nice.
Grey. I ate it up, guys. I read them all. It changed. It was like, wow. And then I graduated college and I'm a nurse, so I work night shift. And there's no time to read when you're on survival mode. Like there's no, you're just trying to make sure.
Books weren't a thing.
They weren't really like, it wasn't really a thing. Like I'm putting my hair in the window, like right home, like banging my head so I don't die on the way home. There was no time for reading. So I just stopped. Like I just stopped reading. And I feel like that's what's going on is like we just stopped reading. And it was pretty recently after COVID was already kind of going on. I started picking up reading again. And I actually, the first book that got me back into reading, which is controversial, I know, I read Verity and I read it in a day. I couldn't put the book down. And after that, I was just like, I remember why I love to do this. Like, I remember that, like, that was something that was like, oh, I can read, like I can comprehend, I can, my brain does
Do
work
something for not educational purposes.
absolutely. Like I'm not reading the DSM-5 or whatever it is,
psychology book or
no,
cardiac,
I'm not reading any of that. And then you told, okay, so we have discovered as we're getting ready for this podcast that I thought she told me about ACOTAR. She says different. And I am shook. My flabbers are gasted.
So with that, I'll dive into me. I was also a child reader. I remember getting in trouble in elementary school for reading,
which is crazy.
I cheated the system because I was reading what I wanted to read.
Don't we all cheat the system? Don't we all just take AR point tests and then read what we want to?
That's what I was doing, and I will never forget. My dad was so like, so you got write-offs because you were reading a book. Like he was like, I don't understand.
Small town life.
He did not understand. I was like, I already did the write-offs too. It's fine.
It's fine. Like, we're already
done. But you know, same with you, like Nancy Drew books, just like whatever you could find in the library that was like 5 points and up for AR.
Exactly. Like because you had 10 a 6 weeks you had to get.
And we rode the bus to and from school. So we lived out in the country, small town world, you know, and so like I had all kinds of time to read. I had a good 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the afternoon to read a book. So I would eat up whatever.
Yes.
Harry Potter started coming out, and you know, it was like book 1, book 2, book 3, and then like I remember the shock of how fat book 4 was.
Yes, I remember too, because I was like, this is huge.
But now I eat books up like that.
Right. Now that's just like the Tuesday. Now it's just a Tuesday for Lauren. It takes me a month.
It takes me more than a day.
Sometimes.
But I just remember being shocked, and then you had to wait forever for book 5 to come out.
Yes.
But so in that time, I got my brother hooked on Harry Potter. He's 4 years older. We read Lord of the Rings together, like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and dove into the Star Wars books.
Oh, how fun.
So we swapped them back and forth. Yeah. Like we were at the bookstore in Dixon, down close to us all the time. Yes. And then there was this like big series of like Dragon Chronicles. I
kind of remember those.
Read them all. Between the two of us, like, and now I regret, like, several years ago, I took like that whole box of books to like McKay's.
Oh, I did that with series of them.
It got like
$10. We got a singular book out of it.
Some kid picked them up and enjoyed them.
Me too.
They were solid books.
I did that with Series of Unfortunate Events and just rebought them.
Well, I don't don't necessarily need them as a book trophy.
Oh, I did. I
So,
didn't think I did, but I
but
did.
they were good. And then, Harry Potter started coming back out, the movies, Lord of the
Mhm.
Ring movies. So, like, that was something me and my brother shared, our love of fantasy books and everything.
Right.
And he spoiled Order of the Phoenix for me. We were reading it, and I was behind, and he was already like out of high school at this point.
Also, side note, this is a spoiler podcast.
Yes, there will be
There will be
spoilers all
spoilers
the
in
time.
every episode. So we're fixing to spoil Harry Potter if you haven't read it.
But I remember I was like, yeah, how he was asking, like, oh, are you reading? I was like, yeah, I'm not done yet. And he goes, yeah. He goes, it's so sad when Sirius dies. And I was like, I'm
Oh,
not
a
that
knife in
far.
the
And he was
heart.
like, I mean, I'm real sorry.
You can take it back. You
It's
can't
like, I'm
even take
so
it
sorry,
back.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
He took me to the midnight movies to pay back for
Okay,
that.
fair.
Like,
He
and
took
made
you to
sure
the
he always
movie.
bought me a copy of the sixth and the seventh book.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
he also worked at Walmart as his
Oh,
college
fair.
job, so like
Fair.
he would.
So he had the
Yeah.
insider. He probably got him a day or two before everybody else
He
did.
did. I don't think that was a thing then, but
That is
anyway,
totally a thing,
he
and
always
it's
made
never on
sure I
Walmart.
had like
He made
solid
up
Harry
for
Potter
it, but
books. Yeah.
still, what a day.
And I'm pretty sure when I graduated, like I went off to college and was trying to survive college,
College was hard, guys.
especially when you never had to study in high school.
No,
That was a rude shocker.
it was. It really was.
And then I remember, like I wasn't reading for fun at all. I was only
Right.
reading for learning purposes.
I think that kind of ruins it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I would have
yeah.
finished the Harry Potter series whenever book 7 finally came out.
Yeah.
I think I was already out of high school then,
Yeah.
but I just didn't pick anything up for fun.
Yeah.
And then went to nursing school, life, and never read for fun. And that's so sad.
It is. It really is.
How much longer would my TBR be?
Right.
And how all those wasted years of not reading all these good books.
I know. There's like the word, but I feel like, in the era that it was like Twilight and 50 Shades was
Yeah.
like the era that like our generation of people were writing these books.
This is true.
They were.
But there's still so many good ones out there.
Right.
Like
they really are. Like all the old ones, like the Robin Hobb ones are not the newest ones. Brandon
No.
Sanderson has some great.
Like Wheel of Time is
Yes.
on my TBR.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I need to quit having all these series that are like 16 plus books.
I know there's a stack of books in the floor that I haven't read.
I
Oh
can
well.
get into that stack. They're real good books.
And they're real good. I'm going. Well, I don't know because I haven't read them.
You'll like them. They're great. And then I remember had our first kid in 2018.
Oh, sweet baby.
And I was like, I have to do something to pacify the amount of driving I was doing to like go drop him off with grandparents, pick him up and come back home was like a good 45 minutes to an hour one way.
Yeah.
So, and I just AirPod in the ear and just started downloading like audiobooks were a thing in 2018. So I redid Harry Potter because like why not? Comfort series.
Right.
Lord of the Rings.
And Jim Dale. Hello, Jim
yes,
Dale.
He does such a good job narrating.
Oh, his books are so good.
They're so good. And I can't think of who narrates Lord of the Rings, but he does a great job because like Tolkien is wordy.
He is very, very descriptive. Like, because I'm going to confess, I've not ever read The Lord of the Rings because the amount of words he uses to describe a tree is exhausting. I mean, it is exhausting.
Wordy. I highly recommend the audio on that one because you can speed it up and get through all that, but it's a good time. And then I dove back into like Divergent, Hunger Games.
Oh, yes, Divergent and Hunger Games. Yes.
And I can't remember. I guess I read them because movies were coming out, and I gotta know what's actually happening.
Yes.
The movies never.
They do okay. They do okay.
They'd be better if they did animated versions of books.
Anime. We want anime ACOTAR. That's what we want.
Yes. So I redid those, and I'm like, okay, I gotta have a series. And so like the first new series that I was like, back into fantasy is the Tales of Levanthria by A.P. Beswick. It's so good. It's like a retelling of the British folklore stuff, and like I'm a sucker for any Robin Hood story.
Oh yeah.
I'll see that movie. I'll read that book every time. Like
it's just gonna suck you in.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately download.
Right.
And so I was reading what was available there. So then I was on the search, anything that was audiobook available. I'm like, we're gonna listen to it. That's how I ended up on the. So here's our debate. I did not.
I don't trust my memory anymore.
I have not dove into the fantasy romance genre. I have a strictly fantasy,
I
okay?
had just read
Um,
Verity. So that was the first book I had read since
yeah. So, and a friend of
Fifty
mine was
Shades.
like, "Oh, I've been reading this book called A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I've read the rest of the series." And she's like, "It's like there's fairies and magic and stuff like this." And this is a friend that I didn't realize liked fantasy stuff. Like I knew
Yeah.
she read all the time, and I was like, "Okay, if she's enjoying it, that might be decent." I wonder.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, A Court of Thorns and Roses is a great book." I was
I had just
like,
read that.
"Okay." So I just type in Audible, Court of Thorns and Roses. This was several years ago now. And I was like, okay, download. No research, no idea how many books is in the series. And I know it's a controversial book sometimes and da 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 da.
Yeah.
But and I was like, oh, this is what a romance book is. Okay. Here for it. It was fine. It was great. And I was like, okay. And then I ate up the rest of the Akatar series and I was like, oh, I really like this. I was like, what else does she write? Throne of Glass popped up. I'm like, okay, why not have a 7-book series?
Why not? Just rips
Um,
your soul out.
and here I go again, not researching it. So I didn't know Assassin's Blade was a book until I was done with the series. So I read it at the end. It's fine if you read them out of order. It's fine. Don't.
I
People
have
get thrown up.
strong feelings about it, but you are entitled to your own feelings.
It's okay
But
if
you
you
should
don't.
read Assassin's Blade 4th. That's all I'm
I
saying.
think I do agree
After
with
Airfire.
that. After reading the whole thing together, it doesn't have
But
to
if you
embarrass.
don't,
But
that's okay to be wrong.
I remember immediately texting you, probably when I was reading like Crown of Midnight. You have to read Throne of Glass.
So like at that time, in my personal memories, which apparently aren't reliable, which is not surprising. I was working night shift.
True, true, true.
But in my head, I had just told you, like, oh my gosh, this is how it went in my brain. Oh my gosh, I just read Verity. I feel like I need to read some more books. I've
Yeah.
rediscovered like that I love to read. And you were like, well, and I said, I feel like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong because now I can't remember what you said. But in my head, I was like, but I see this book on TikTok about A Court of
See,
Thorns
I
and
didn't even have a
Roses.
TikTok then.
Oh, I was deep into TikTok.
No,
Like,
no TikTok for
not
me.
dancing because we
Because
grew
this
up
was
COC and you don't dance.
this was like 2019 when I dove down the Akatar train.
See, I didn't dive down it till
So
later.
I think you had only read book 1, and I was like, you
Yes.
have to finish the series and then read
Yes.
Throne of Glass.
Because I remember you saying how much Throne of Glass was good.
And I liked Throne of Glass. Hot topic. Throne of Glass I like better than Akatar because
I could kind of agree with that.
Glass is more of a high fantasy,
Yeah.
with a little bit of like more romance splashed in, and Akatar is like a romance.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely
intro if
Yes.
you're new to a fantasy.
Right.
And the magic's easy to understand. Like
Yes,
it's a shorter series.
absolutely.
Like I see why people
Yes,
love it.
and it's really like if you really wanted to take Akatar and make it a 3-book series, you could read the first 3 and be done. Like the story, it's not completely wrapped up, but if you didn't want to read anymore, you could. Why would
Yeah.
you want? Why wouldn't you want to read more? I don't know, but
Flames is my favorite one out of the whole
oh gosh,
series.
we love. Also, this is controversial. We love Nesta.
She is probably one of my favorites from that series. Her development and everything, and she sticks to her gun. She is loyal if you are one of her people.
She is, and we are. We are loyal to Nessa, but that's a whole nother.
We'll hit that on another.
We've got a
podcast.
whole
we can talk that.
episode coming of Akatar
But
hot
I remember
takes.
going from that, and then I like Crescent City, which was culture shock.
Oh, that one was
alert.
crazy.
Because so many fantasy books, even the romantasy ones, are more like a medieval type setting.
Bow and arrow. You're in the woods, in the wilderness. You're on the quote unquote King's Road. You're not on a highway or an interstate.
There's no cars, there's no guns or cell phones.
Yeah. And boom, Bryce comes out with a blinky. She's like, my blinky.
I was like, whoa. But it was good. I, of course, ate it up because why not?
Sure.
I'm listening to it at 2x on Audible.
Yes.
Like, we're gonna run through the books. And then it's like we're done with that one. That's how I ended up adventuring over to Jennifer Armentrout's From Blood and Ash series.
I've heard good things about it. I haven't gone there.
I won't finish that series because it got so far. I was like, I'm done. I'm good. Like, 'cause it's a lot of books.
It is. It is.
And as much as I love a lot of series, Throne of Glass could have been a book shorter. It could
Well,
have.
we could talk about that. That's a whole nother. I mean,
But
I don't disagree.
true. But I just like, I was still only audible, like listening to books. I was not making time. I think I finally, because you convinced me to buy a Kindle.
Oh yeah,
Game
the
changer.
Kindle. I
Game
love
changer for me.
it.
So like my
Sponsor us, Amazon.
my ADD brain, I always have an audiobook, a Kindle book, and
Yes.
sometimes a physical book going
Right.
at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very, and this kind of comes back to like more of us. I'm very much a mood reader. I want to read seasonal things. Like right now, I
Yeah.
want to read summer books, and
Yeah.
I'm trying, but I'm going to like. So I want to read, like, I read how I feel. Like, depending on the time of the month, the season
Yeah.
is what kind of book I want to
You
read.
read other genres
I do.
also,
I'm not a complete
so
just wrote like high fantasy, romantasy. I like thrillers. I like a good romance novel. But I'm talking like Tessa Bailey romance style novels, not the ones that don't have smut in them. Because nothing, and then we can kind of bridge into this of like tropes that we hate.
oh gosh.
I have several. I have several tropes that I hate.
We agree on I think all of these.
Yes.
So go for it.
Nothing to me is more annoying than spending days trying to get into a book when it's like, and they get in bed together and it fades to black.
Oh
Like,
gosh, I can't.
details.
Right.
Give me the details. Don't use weird words.
Oh my
Don't
gosh, I
use
can't.
cringy. That's another trope
Well,
I can't stand.
some of the cringy stuff is so overused
It
that I'm
really
like,
is like
I'm
velvet wrap steel
no. I'm about
gag.
to sometimes like if I hear wet folds, I'm like, I'm gonna
It's
DNF this book.
I'm like, this is a reason I can DNF. And then another reason, like another thing I cannot stand is a pregnancy trope. I'm like, when the main character wakes up and she pukes, I'm done.
I
See ya.
know.
Don't want to read it. I
Like,
mean, no harm if you like that. No harm if that's something that you like. It makes me put the book down.
it makes me pause because I'm like, really? Or really? Like, is this for this? Especially when it's in like a big epic storyline. I'm like, we're about to
Yes.
throw this in here.
Yes.
Now, especially in the fantasy realm, because that's pretty much the only genre I read.
Yeah. I mean, it's
The
like,
spectrum of fantasy. But like, I'm
yes.
just like,
Like, look what they
no,
did to Padme Amidala.
thank you. Like,
Sad May.
yeah, no one's gonna want her to go into battle. Everyone's gonna be freaking out about it, like all this stuff. And I'm like, can we just put this at the end of the book? Like, if you want to wrap it up with a bow, they end up happy,
Yes,
have kids, cool.
that's
Good for
wonderful.
me.
That's
I
great.
also hate the miscommunication trope.
Oh my God. Hot take. I could not stand Iron Flame
Oh my
because
gosh.
of this. Could not digest it. Honestly, finished it when Onyx Storm came out, and the only reason I did is because I read the last chapter.
No, it's because you made me tell you.
Yes, and then I read the last chapter. I was like, I am not going to read Onyx Storm if this ends. I
Yeah.
cannot stand miscommunication.
I think we were out to eat, and you're like, just tell me what
Just
happened.
tell me what happens. Just tell me what happened. Like,
Because you were so mad.
and like, I love Xaden and I love Violet, and we'll talk about Xaden and Violet, and I love like their things, but when you give people who are described as young adults very adult problems to deal with,
Let them
and then
communicate.
they act like teenagers
Yes.
and don't understand like how to talk about their feelings. Can't stand it. Cannot
And
stand
it reminds me of like Star Wars, prime example. If they just
If
talked
they
to
would just talk
Anakin,
about it, just talk to Anakin.
you could have avoided that
Also,
whole
we're team. I mean,
thing.
I'm team Anakin here.
And just like in Harry Potter, if Dumbledore
Lord,
had
just
talked
talk
to
to
Harry,
Harry.
Sirius wouldn't have died at in the
He
ministry.
may not
like
have.
he,
He may
know,
not have.
because they wouldn't have been there.
Exactly. He could have just explained what was going on.
Now, yeah.
But would he have healed from his trauma? We don't know. She didn't have to kill Hedwig.
I don't think he
She
ever
didn't have
healed
to.
from his trauma.
I don't
but
think he did
anyway.
either. I think he married someone that looked like his mom, so he has mommy issues. Hot take.
That's not true. Oh, I've never thought about that.
It is.
You're
Harry
not
Potter
wrong.
has mommy issues.
He
You heard it
does. Yeah,
here.
he does have mommy issues. Wow.
So other things that make me DNF a book, because I read more than just fantasy. I read thrillers. I read just anything. I like women's fiction, general fiction. I'm not going to read a self-help book because then I would have to work through some problems.
I've watched, there's a few that are probably labeled self-help books that
Yeah.
are decent, but I've been able to be more comfortable with myself reading fantasy books than I ever have with a
Absolutely. I can
self-help
work
book.
through a whole lot of problems
Yeah.
pretending I have a sword. But like some of things,
Fair.
like when I read thriller books, if your thriller book is starting out with, I am, 27 years old and I'm working in my office cubicle and it's the 15th of July
Enough and doubt.
and today is the day my best friend from childhood went missing and then we found her dead body I'm not reading about dead kids.
Yeah, no.
I'm not, if your book has dead, in the thriller world, take out your husband, take out the neighbor, take
Kids.
out your boss, take out someone who's stalking you. I'm not fucking with kids. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Fair.
And the same thing is I don't read in the smut world, I don't read the rape non-conny stuff either. It's I totally, like, I don't judge anybody for what they read, but
It's
I
not
just
something I'm going
can't,
to.
it's not
Yeah.
something that I'm willing to put myself through. And I truly feel for people who've been in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
And I especially feel for people who've been in that situation who don't get like a trigger warning list at the beginning of books. Like when It Ends With Us came out, which is a Colleen Hoover, who is
Oh, yeah.
very controversial. There were people that I know that did not know that It Ends With Us deals with domestic abuse.
It wasn't in the trigger warnings?
It was in the book, but when the movie
Oh,
came
that's right.
out,
They didn't warn
there's
about
lots of
that.
people
That's
that
right.
don't read. And
Yeah.
that, like, I feel for a lot of people who have dealt with that, and that's a horrible thing that no one should have to deal with. But at the same time, I'm not going to read that either. Not because you're an author that writes that. It's just I don't put myself through
Yeah.
that scenarios.
Some things that'll have me DNF a book is if it's 3 weeks later and I'm still only like in chapter 2
Yep,
or
if
like
yep.
20%. I'm like, we're done. It's
Yep.
clearly not caught my attention enough for me to
Yeah.
want to revert back to it. Like I went through and cleaned my Kindle out
Yeah, absolutely.
because I always have too many things started.
Yes.
So like I track myself on the Fable app. So sometimes you'll see like Lauren's randomly read 10 different, like the first one of 10 different books, and all of a sudden you see I complete like 6 because I finally got
'Cause
my
you're just
ADD
like,
together and finished the
"Oh,
book.
yeah, we're gonna finish 4 at a
Um,
time." That's how we do things.
Yeah, it's just I'm like, okay, here we are, we're on a roll. But then I'm like, okay, I'm not into this. We're gonna just it's gotta go.
Yeah.
Or if the main character is super dumb.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm
Or
like,
has a stupid name.
oh, I have gone for that
I
too.
can't.
Or if the narrator's voice is really bad,
Yes, a
I'll
bad
DNF it in a
Mhm.
heartbeat and return for my credit.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I'm not also looking the book up on Kindle.
No.
I'm just
Mm-mm.
done.
I'm done. If you're
That's
and
why I haven't never finished Daughter of No Worlds because I downloaded it on Audible. The narrator is awful. Like
Right.
the voice is awful. I'm sure she's a great narrator,
Yeah.
but I'm just like I can't do it, and I can't even bring myself to download it on Kindle to like try to read it. And
Oh, I
it
totally
keeps
get
getting
it.
recommended to me,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, I'm sure it's a completed
sure.
trilogy, but and I'm like, I just can't do it.
No, I just can't do I get it. I
And I've
totally
read another book from that author, and the book was fine.
And, like,
So I'm just like, I can't do it.
I'm really not a person to, like, criticize the ways people talk because I sound like I am
Cornbread.
from cornbread. So, you can totally criticize me by the way I talk as well. I get it, but at the same time, everybody has their own speed,
it's-
everybody has their own voices,
And it's generally if it's like a one narrator and they're trying to talk like a dude or a dude's trying to talk like a girl and it's awful.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're out.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
please,
Yeah.
that I'm like, okay, this is not working.
This is not it. This is not the vibe.
As we wrap up our intro,
Yes.
what are your top, say, 3 favorite series that you've read? Can you name 3 that are your top?
Probably can't name 3. I can
Or like your current favorite reads, maybe. Is that easier question to answer?
Yeah, I think that would be
What's your
easier.
top 3 favorite reads of 2025, maybe?
Okay, One Dark Window.
Ooh,
That
yes.
is a duology, which I think there needs to be more fantasy duologies.
Yes, I'm here for
Not
the duologies.
same. Not that
Yes.
I don't love a 10-book series.
Rachel Gillig is the queen of that. Her other one is going to be a duology that
Yes,
she came
I
out.
love a duology.
So,
Like it is so good.
yeah.
I really love One Dark Window. Let's see, what else have I read? Oh, I read Hunger Games, the new one.
Oh, Sunrise and the Reaping.
Sunrise on the Reaping. That ripped my soul out. That was hard. That
I've got to move it up on my reading list.
Oh, it was a hard read because I mean,
Yeah.
like we said in the beginning, it's a spoiler tag. I'm not going to spoil the book for you.
Please don't.
But
I know whose story it's about. So
yes,
like
it's about
hurt.
Haymitch and Haymitch's games. And then the first book, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, was about Snow.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that book, you almost want to develop some empathy for Snow. Anything that you do is just crushed, run over by a semi truck, and you are glad that the Hunger Games ends the way it does.
Absolutely.
Those are probably my favorites of this year so far.
Yeah.
I just finished The Fury, which is a thriller book. It's not in the fantasy world, and it was a really interesting. It kind of reminded me of Clue because in the last 15-ish pages, I feel like the ending changed like 4 times.
Oh, nice.
And it was good, but it wasn't an ending change in like a bad time. It was like, okay, this happened, and you thought the book was going to end. No, it doesn't. The next,
I do like that kind of twist to it. Not to twist and like crush your heart cliffhanger.
Yes.
But like you expect this, and then it takes a
yes, and in like 2 pages. So it'd be like you read the page and you think that that's how it's going to wrap up. Nope, you flip the page, another chapter that's 2 pages long. You flip the page. It was so good. It was great.
Nice.
But those are my most recent, probably in the last 2 or 3 months that I've read.
So for mine, I'm gonna just say the Shepherd King duology.
Oh, it's because so good.
One Dark Window and the Two Twisted Crowns, so good. I listened to those earlier this year. Yeah. You told me One Dark Window, One Dark Window. Like, okay, I'm finally gonna do it, and I was instantly hooked.
Yeah. So this is how our reading goes. I read One Dark Window, and I told Lauren that she had to read One Dark Window.
I finished the series,
and she finished the series, and I'm just now reading Two Twisted Crowns, and it's so good. But that's how our reading goes.
So that I'll just say that series is one of my top ones of 2025.
Yes, for sure.
So good.
Sure.
I listened to it and have enjoyed listening to it.
Yes, the narrator is very good.
Does a great job. That's such a cool magic system.
It is. So cool. It's a magic system like you've never. If you haven't read it, highly recommend.
Yeah, but like it ends well. We're not gonna spoil it.
Oh, I'm so excited!
You still have
I'm
a lot
trying to
in
really
that book.
like. I'm halfway done, and I'm gonna finish it before July because it's going on my list.
You're talking about it, and I'm like having to keep my mouth shut.
I know she's literally like, I'm asking questions when we're eating dinner tonight, and she's like,
no, can't tell you. That's a good thought track, but I cannot confirm nor deny anything at this point. But so good. And then I have read 4 out of the 6 books of the Red Rising saga.
You have talked a lot about Red Rising.
Oh my gosh. So I think it's actually a 7-book series. Red God doesn't come until next year, but the first 3 are like together, and then it picks up 10 years later. Oh, it makes a jump. So like
I've heard Sanderson is like that.
Yeah. Red Rising, I was unsure about when I started reading it, and like I put it down for a while, and I was like, okay, because I'm kind of confused, but then like I still really want to know what's going on because it's been a while since I read a good sci-fi. Right. So I was like, yeah. Finished it, and then I got about halfway through Red Rising. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to get some audiobook credits. Like we're gonna
I've got to do it. I've got to do it.
Golden Sun and Morning Star, phenomenal. Morning Star had me staring at the wall, questioning my choices. Oh. It hurt. Middle of the book hurt. Like, okay.
That's the worst.
And then it hurt again at the end. I was like, oh my gosh. Because fair warning, if you have not read any of Pierce Brown's books, he has no qualms what he puts any of his characters through. That's all I'm gonna say. And so I have since then read Iron Gold, and then I have not started the next book yet because that 10-year jump is kind of different. It's good. But I've also been hooked on, and I'm probably gonna say Dungeon Crawler Carl is probably my other top one. It's so good.
To do that.
So I've got like an hour left of book 4, and I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. Fun. It's a fun to listen to, and I didn't know this was a genre, like the lit RPG books. I didn't know it was a genre.
I didn't either.
It come across randomly on my TikTok, and I have since started trusting more of the book talk bro TikTok
Book talk bros are
recommendations.
cool, okay? We like book talk bros.
No offense to any of like the awesome women book talkers
No,
that I
there's
follow.
the OGs that started it all.
Yeah.
I mean, women have to do it first before men can.
Fair, but some of them lately, I'm just like, okay, I need you to quit telling me if you liked Akatar and Fourth Wing. This is like a combination of
Right.
just tell me it has dragons in it and I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, dragons
That's
are
all I
good.
need to know. It's got dragons in it, we'll read it. And so it kept coming up, and then I just like, okay, won't hurt. I'll listen to the first one. And not even the first chapter fully in. I was like, oh yes. But it was a perfect mental break that I needed in
Yes.
between because I
A
had
palate cleanser. You need a palate cleanser.
most of the time my palate cleanser goes from like a dark romantasy to like sci-fi to like another high fantasy book. Cause like I also jumped on and finished Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb.
Nice.
This is how my brain works.
Yeah. If you need a palate cleanser, get one.
Dungeon Conqueror is the perfect kind of just like it's funny and entertaining, and you'll laugh out loud, and you're like, "Holy crap, what is happening?" And you just keep listening to it. Like it's an instant. You want to go on to the next book. I think it's a 6-book total, but they're short listens. Like, if you listen above 1x on your Audible, you can listen to them in like an 8-hour day.
See,
like. So
I'm like I don't listen at 1, but I'm a solid 1.5.
Yeah, those are probably my top ones of 25. And I've read some other really good books.
Yes,
like
yes.
And I've read some books that I was like, it's okay. It doesn't mean they're a bad book. I always feel bad critiquing some books because if it's not for me, it doesn't mean it's not for other people.
Right.
And like the work you put in, like to writing a book.
It's so much.
I'm not gonna do it.
I don't have time to do it.
I can take an 800-page story and make it about 20 pages because I'm not a lengthy writer.
I'm not.
And English is not my strong suit. That's why I went into nursing, so I can just chart exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
But, so my props goes out to, especially anyone that's been like an indie author and like self-published their
absolutely
stuff.
Like y'all are amazing, and I feel like
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and anybody who writes really shouldn't take like criticism down to the heart, especially on this podcast.
So like it's got to be like a really rough read for me to give it 1 star.
Yeah,
or like even a 2-star. Most of the time I'm like, if I finish the book, you're at least getting a 2 or a 3 star.
Yeah, I feel that a way about like
if it's like one I didn't love, but I know like, oh, I could still recommend it to somebody, 3-star.
Yeah.
If you left me staring at the wall contemplating my choices, it's a 5-star. Automatically. 5 stars. Thank you so much. If I'm like borderline about to cry,
it's a 5.
5-star.
It's a 5.
If I'm like, what? My whole thought process has been upturned.
Yeah.
5 stars.
5 stars. If I'm the main character, if I'm imagining myself as the main character, it's a 5-star.
If it was a good time, but it was still like missing something, like maybe it was a little too wordy for me or something, 4 stars.
Yeah.
Still getting good credit. I love it.
But even if I 1-star your book, congratulations, you wrote a book.
You
like, that is so amazing.
Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to criticize and trash talk it. I was like, it wasn't for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna say I really hated it, but that doesn't mean that I hate you as an author.
Facts.
That's just mean
there are some books that I have loved some of the author's work, but didn't love another one.
Right.
But then some I'm like, is it because I wasn't in the mood for it?
Maybe. That's why we're mood readers.
Because I'm a vibe reader big time. I have read one non-fantasy book.
Okay, one.
One.
What is your non-fantasy book?
It's Pull the Trigger. It's that like dark. It's a dark romance. It's not fancy. It's good. And I because I'm friends with the author, so I am a little bit biased. She'll be on this podcast at some point.
Yeah.
I told her she had no choice.
Yes, she doesn't. She really doesn't. We love you.
She has some other fantasy books that she's written, but I was like, "You're gonna cause me to read outside my normal genre," and she was like, "You're welcome."
You're welcome.
But I was hooked. Yeah. Like I was like, oh, it's good. It's dark, but it's good. It's a good time. But I've always loved the fantasy genre.
Yeah.
It's because it's the only time I describe it to my husband, who is not a reader.
My husband isn't a reader either, and it kind of sucks because I want him to be a book talk bro.
He's a
gamer. But if I did, I wouldn't like him. So
I wouldn't listen to his book recommendation.
I'd be like, ew, you're a boy.
But everyone asks me, does your husband read too? I'm like, no, he does not. I'm like, I fully think there's lots of things I've read. I'm like, dude, you'd enjoy this. He goes, I'll wait till they make it a show. I'm like, shut up. Sort of. But he does not care how much I want to read, but it's the only way my brain will like calm down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not that I'm like avoiding my emotions or my feelings. It's just the only way I can like make my brain calm down long enough to process life and relax.
I usually use it as an escapism because
I say I haven't all I haven't
Yeah.
at times I'm like, yeah, I need to my brain needs to be
every
somewhere
once in a while when
else.
we're washing dishes, we're pretending we're in a tavern. I don't care. We'll turn on the light.
I
Like turn on the
was
light, light a
made
candle, and
to
call it a day.
eat tavern food, or like when
Soup
they're
and bread.
or,
Hello.
or when they're on the road, they're like crusty bread, hard cheese, and fruit.
Heck
Heck
yeah,
yes! Throw in
yes.
some jerky, I'm
Oh,
down.
we're good.
I love
We're
it,
good.
and dried venison. I'm like, dude,
Yes.
I know how to make jerky. Let's go.
Exactly.
Like I was built to travel on the road like that. It's great. We're lunchable kids, but
Yes,
like,
we are. Charcuterie. Hello.
absolutely. All right, so we're just gonna wrap up our intro.
Yes.
You will find us on Instagram and
Yes.
TikTok. Thank you for listening.
Bye.